so frustrated with myself. I feel my trust fading, it's not enough lately. I think I'm ignoring my own health. I miss all the warnings, it just gets so boring when I'm not indulging my senses. Every single second, pleasure is cheap, but
Hey everyone, I'm Mackayla. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. We're going to jump right in with the two hardest questions of all. Who are you and what have you been up to recently?
My name is Brian. I am in band Good Terms. I sing, I play guitar. I'm one of the writers. And recently, we have been in between legs of our tour. With we've been doing some tour with Emery, which has been very cool. So we're in between legs of that. So we've been home for a little while, which has been nice. We have been writing for a new song that is coming out very soon in the future that I won't talk about, and just writing for our next record in general. Um, and Me and my fiance have been working on our 30-year-old Mustang that we just bought.
Ooh,
And
that's
that has
cool.
been, yeah, that has been my life. And we just went for a long weekend vacation to San Diego in it,
Nice.
which is why I am sunburned. Very obvious to me, but
It is not that obvious that you were
I
sunburned.
appreciate that, Michaela.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there.
It's been a busy August. When I got home
Mm-hmm.
from the last leg of tour, I was like, there's so much I want to get done
Mm-hmm.
during these, like we have like 6 weeks. And so I wrote it all down like week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's what I want to do here, here's what I want to do here, here's what I want to do, here's how we're gonna get all of this, or 85% of it
Yeah,
done. And it's been going okay. I'm pleased with what's been happened.
that's
What's
good.
been yeah.
Yeah, so do you have any, super memorable shows or venues that you played on this last leg of the tour?
Do I ever? Oh my gosh, dude. I lost my voice for the first time on this
Oh
tour.
no.
Which yeah, I lost my voice like a long time ago. But that was back when I was like smoking joints on tour, which
Mm-hmm.
like you're just asking for it.
Right.
I sing really high. I sing some really like kind of technical stuff. Like I can't be doing that. That was like back in the day. That was before we really put our pedal to the metal. Like so for the last 2 years, we've been touring, with kind of more intensity, and everything's been going great vocally. Um, it's been pretty intense, some days like being silent, all this prep that I've been doing, all these little devices I have, these little habits and methods and routines and whatnot. Um, but we had just done this big tour in June, like 20 dates, where I thought it was going to be really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And everything was fine. And I was like, cool, everything's sick. This is great. And this first leg of this Emery tour that we just did in July, it was like 10 days, 9 days, short drives, just super easy. We were like, oh, this is gonna be great, man. And but in between those tours, my fiance had bronchitis,
Oh.
and I was really scared. And so you know, 2 weeks of being home of like little pecks on the cheek and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really get any symptoms, but I must have gotten something because we went to do our first show, and I was like, ooh, some notes are missing way up in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the show. The show was fine. I kind of like, pulled some punches, but second day I go to warm up. We're the Roxy in Lakewood, Ohio, which is a beautiful venue. And uh there's just none of this. All of this is totally gone, which is terrifying. I've never had that happen before.
Mm-hmm.
I've had it happen where it like hurts or it feels tired. I've never had it where it was like I could not make a sound if
Mm.
I had to. Um, so yeah, so I'm warming up for sound check, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. And I don't sing like I'm Prince or something. I don't sing like up in that register.
Right.
But you use it a lot. You use it for just a lot of the technique stuff. Like you really need that stuff available. And I just barely got through. I mean, that show was the absolute like most bewildered we've ever been during a show. Just like, okay, this is like a big crowd. This is a big stage. One thing I was so excited to play at the Rocks, like it's just a beautiful. It felt like a kind of classic concert hall. just big and wide and made of wood. Really, really satisfying to play as a musician. And of course, I have this like massive asterisk over the entire performance and just trying like not knowing if if these notes are going to come out. And and then we'd like, I gave some of the parts to the other guys in my band. Please sing this part, please scream this part, we like have no idea. Ivan, my guitar player, who's the big guy, who has like a bell of a voice. I'm like, dude, you have to do the screaming part in the song Reaching, which like isn't even my part on the record. Our bassist does it, but our bassist couldn't do this tour. And I was like, dude, I can't. There's no way I can scream. You
Hmm.
have to scream. So, and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna. I was like, I think that even if you sound bad, you're like 6'4", you have a beard and long hair, like people are just gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Uh, and that was what it was like. It was just like, I don't know. These 30 minutes are just a big question mark. And we just walked off stage. We're like, that was like no fun. Um,
Oh.
and Lakewood did not seem to mind at all. If like the merch sales or anything to go by, or like the people that I meet at the merch table,
Hmm.
which I couldn't talk to them. I would just be like,
Mm.
just
Yeah.
I would just be mouthing stuff. But they were very appreciative, and so this whole tour, I didn't talk for like 5 days, just trying to make my way through the show for 30 minutes every night. And then about halfway through, my voice started to come back a little bit,
That's
like a
good.
little by little, yeah. Um, and then this whole time in August, I've been in kind of vocal recovery mode. It was like it was all back, but I would get as soon as I would start talking, it would be really tired. It like
Hmm.
felt like I had been yelling all night. It's like, okay, that's not. It's like 11 a.m. Like that's not normal. But now it's kind of gotten back to
Good.
normal for the most part. There's like a couple things I can't. I notice it when when I bark at my dog,
Hmm.
when I like try to get my dog to howl. There's like some sounds I used to make that are like dog howl sounds
Hmm.
I like can't make. I'm like, that's weird. But anyway, so Lakewood, Ohio. That was never gonna forget that, man. That beautiful venue and just having no voice.
Hopefully you get a redo there.
I really hope so, man. We did get a redo on that tour. And this was by the time my voice was kind of coming back. It wasn't a redo in the sense that it was a bad show, but it was just getting to do it again. We played the Waiting Room in Omaha, which we played last year when we had our like Christmas present of getting to open for the Wonder Years and Knuckle Puck and like Roses, and we
Oh, wow.
opened for them in that venue. We did it in we did it in Salt Lake, we did it in Omaha at that venue. And these are just bigger places than we usually play. They're just like a pleasure to play. And the crowds come early and they do what we tell them to do. They sing, they
Hmm.
clap, they jump when we tell them to jump. Like, they do the stuff. And our show last year, there was like it was like okay, okay, like they 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 were fine. They were fine
Hmm.
with it. And then the show this that we just did back in July was great, was like way better. And I didn't think the last one was bad, but like they were circle pitting, they were
Oh,
jumping.
wow.
It was a lot of people saying that they came last year, so it was a big treat to play a venue we had played the year before, which is kind of new for us. We haven't, this is really only our second year of touring,
Hmm.
so it's really fun to get to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
So going into your second year of touring, what did you feel prepared for that you didn't on your first year?
oh man, I guess trying new things, which I guess is kind of a cop out because like, the first year everything was new.
Hmm.
The first year, we had really tested a lot of stuff at home and on little tiny little week runs, stuff in California and whatnot. And we were like, let's take this show on the road and see how this works. Can we
Yeah.
do this 5 days in a row, 10 days in a row, 20 days in a row? Um, and so much, performing can be a blur, especially when you're doing new stuff. When you're doing old stuff that's like well worn, you can be a little more present
Hmm.
and make some more decisions and appreciate some more things. But when it's new, it's a blur and you're just hoping you get through it. And that's what a lot of last year was. A lot of last year was just you get on this roller coaster and it starts and you scream and it's over, which is fun. But this year we got to I feel like we got to really appreciate some of the newer things. Our first show this year was in San Diego, opening for the band Driveways on their first West Coast tour, which was very fun. And we were playing some new songs. Our record had come out. We've been playing a bunch of songs from our record, but now we were playing like the album opener
Hmm.
that's very designed to open the show, and playing our song Reaching, which is has a bunch of circle pit stuff and a big breakdown that our bassist does. Our song High Right Now, which is like a kind of an indie pop song, but also has like a massive guitar solo. And that show was like kind of a blur, but I remember coming off stage being like, it all worked. Then from there on out, I would say everything I've been able to be really present for everything and really notice how things feel for the crowd, how things feel,
Hmm.
um, and not even analytically, just have fun, just have
Yeah.
fun stuff. We do breakdowns or guitar solos, and like we mess with, I have a lot of stuff where I play, Ivan and I play like in duo, like guitar harmony kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And we go over to each other and we kind of ham it up, and we've just been like messing with each other. Like he's been knocking my hat off. I've been fucking with his hair, like stuff. I do turning off my friends' guitars like while we're on stage, just making them deal with that. I think that's so funny. Um, so yeah, so being able to be present, and be especially for trying new things.
Hmm.
uh, I think that's been a big, I think that's been a big change.
Do you have a favorite song to perform live?
Oh, dude, do I? Um. I don't know if I have a favorite song to perform, um, especially because it kind of feels like all like one big thing at this
Hmm.
point. Um, there are some songs that are like really fucking hard. And it's not even like because the song's hard. It's really because where it is in the set. Like we do this cover of "Jump" by Van Halen,
Hmm.
which is fun. It works really well. It works really well at getting like crowds that don't know us to make up their mind.
Yeah.
Um, And of course, it's a big audience interaction, crowd participation thing. I make all those fuckers jump, which is fun. But we get out of that, and then we do the song "Reaching," which
Oh,
is what I was talking about, which is the highest
yeah.
song, fastest song, and I've just been literally jumping for 3 minutes, and then I have to throw off my guitar and sing the highest notes I got to sing all tour, and that moment, that moment's tough. I usually like get into it. But the intro to that song, I love playing Reaching. I don't want to stop playing it. And I love playing Jump too. But that moment is really, really difficult.
Hmm.
I, if I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably say "Hear Me Out."
Okay.
Uh, it's the second song in our set, depending on if you count the intro as an actual song.
Hmm.
I take off my guitar, and I just sing, and I really love that song. It's probably my favorite song on the album,
Ooh.
just because as a guitar player, I'm a really big fan of it as a guitar player. I don't play guitar on it, and because I think that both of the guys wrote really distinct guitar parts that I really really love. Like I think are some of the special like moments that they've ever written, especially as far as like both of them playing together. And I just like enjoy listening to that. I enjoy being a part of that. I enjoy like standing on stage while they're playing it, being like, I think this is the best thing we do. So I hope you guys are enjoying this because I feel very confident about this. Um, and then the first verse is like very solo, like they hit a big chord and it kind of comes down to just me. The part's not that hard to sing and it's just but I kind of take this big center stage moment to do it. And it just feels like it really locks in. It's very comfortable. And then that song just gets like fun and bouncy from there on out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. I like it.
yeah.
How does the song, so you mentioned, that that's your favorite, one of your favorite songs you think off the album. What did it look like kind of writing the album or writing a song for you guys in general?
With this album, we made the choice to go like to throw everything at the wall and see what
Hmm.
stuck. because we put out this album called Turning Point back in 2021. That was our first album, and that was like just kind of us learning how to put out music. And I like that album. I don't think that album is like samey or anything. It's not like all the songs sound the same, but it's pretty contained. Um, and with this next and but a lot of it was written by our guitar player Zach because he just started the project. This one we were like, okay, well, what kind of band are we really going to be if we all have a creative voice in this? Because we all have different kinds of music we like that we connect over and things that we can make. So we started off trying out a lot of new things. Hear Me Out was one of the first songs that we did. I want to say like the fourth or fifth that really started to come into focus. And I remember when like I got a demo of just the guys playing the guitar parts that I so much. And they sang me the song and the song's really poppy and I was like, okay, I like and then there's a breakdown that's in seven and the one guy's playing like a dumb part and the other guy's playing like a mathy, way too complicated part. And it's just like it's really well blended and just a lot of fun. And I was like, yo, this is us. This should be what we do. Like this is the sound, dude. And we had a discussion and the guys were kind of like, nah, we should like, I mean, yeah, we like this, but like we should keep trying new things.
Hmm.
So we did. We I remember when we wrote a song like wrote High Right Now. That was me and Ivan, and I had just seen 1975 for the first time the night before, and that obviously had a big impact on the song. And Ivan and I made this demo for it, and we were like, that was fun. That's not going to be a good term song because it's like way too indie pop. And Zach was like, no, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We should put that on the record. And same thing with a song like Chickweed. Like I thought that song was good, but like, how is it going to work on the album? And Zach was like, well, we're just going to make it work. And a song like Mask, which is like almost entirely screamed in metalcore the whole time, or a song like Mirror Mirror, which is like mostly just an emo pop punk song. And we didn't know what to do with the end of it. And I was like, "Oh, dude, I'll do a guitar solo because both of you guys have guitar solos. I'd love a guitar solo." And they're like, "Yeah, write a guitar solo." And I wrote this 2.5 minute guitar solo, and I was like, "Maybe not, guys. Like, this is all I can come up with. I can't figure out how to make this shorter. Like, maybe we just do something else." And they were like, "No, let's do the 2.5 minute guitar solo." And so that's what ends the album. So everything was different. All three of us write all the guitar players. Ivan, Zach, and I, we all write. So we all have different ways that we come up with stuff, different times that we bring the band into it, different ways that we like to do things. So it was throwing everything at the wall and seeing what stuck.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to continue doing that going forward?
No. No. Yeah. So like I said, this month we've started writing the first songs for our next record, and um, I mean, we're going to focus on what sticks.
Hmm.
Now that we've done that, we're going to probably shed some of the things that didn't resonate with our audience and the people that our music is getting out to, and double down on the things that did resonate. Um, and it's been it's been a crazy couple years. When we started making this record, we made some of these songs in like I think I wrote the song Blurry in 2018.
Wow.
Um, before our first, I mean, before our first record came out in 2018, or sorry, 2021, like a long ass time ago. And it's come a long way from like working our day jobs. This band doesn't have a name or an Instagram account. Nobody knows about this to trying to make it happen, figuring out how social media works, figuring out how to get shows to like now we have somewhat of a industry team. We have a manager and a label and an agent, and um, this new record is feels way different than our last. Like to make it feels way different than our last records, just because it feels like uh, what we did before does matter. Like people want to know. Like there are people who want to know what we're gonna do,
Yeah.
and we can't just. I don't just want to throw. We just don't want to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks because they liked some of the stuff that we already threw at the wall, and it's been really, really fun to be, a part of that with them. And I want to double down on it and have a lot more fun.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking we're all looking forward to this next record. You know, we love our baby Burnout. I'm very, very stoked about how we were able to pull it together, especially with the throwing everything at the wall. I was like, how is this gonna work? But Zach, our guitar player, produced this, and props to him. He did it. He figured out how he was gonna make the 2.5 minute jazz solo work with the metalcore song, working with the pop punk. So yeah, I love what we did, but there are just it like bums us out that like there are songs that like we're not gonna play that live. Nobody people like it, we get comments about it, but like not enough to not enough to play it live, which is of course how every album's gonna be, but it'd be nice to try something like okay, this is for this part of we know what our show is. We know what parts of our show like go off, and this is for this part of the show, and this is what we want to do with this part of the show. So yeah, we're very excited about the next record.
I'm excited about it now.
Hell yeah, brother.
Before I ask the last question, is there anything else that you wanted to mention or talk about today?
Dude, is there? Um, no. I mean, I guess like stay tuned. Like we were talking about before we started recording, there's some stuff that I was like, when is this coming out? Because I need to know if I can talk about certain stuff. And I can't talk about the certain stuff, but y'all know what that means. Not the third LP. The third record is we just started working on that. Um, but we've got stuff in the meantime to announce. So get hype, dude. Don't think the good terms is going anywhere or going silent. Uh, we are preparing lots of fun stuff to do in the near future.
Okay. So the last question is, what is the soundtrack of your life?
Life by Ginseng. I'm not
Okay.
even joking. I think that album has been my Spotify top played album since 2020, which is when I learned
Wow.
about it. It's a lo-fi hip hop album, and it's just if you listen to it, you'll understand like, oh yeah, I could see why someone would want to have this on maybe like 24/7. Um, yeah, I listened to a lot of lo-fi hip hop. It started off as a way to like find like a modern way that worked with my life to kind of stay in touch with like jazz and R&B.
Hmm.
A lot of that stuff is built on jazz samples and R&B samples, which like I have I went to school for jazz. I don't really, I don't really work or perform in it anymore because I think it's a very intense genre to stay active in. And man, I ain't got those chops anymore. I can wow my friends still, but like I can't go on stage somewhere and do something like that. So I was just looking for a way to a way that felt like modern in 2020 to stay in touch with that kind of in a way that like I could actually do. Like I still listen to jazz and modern jazz and whatnot, but like that's a very you don't put that on when you're driving around. That's a very
No.
intense kind of thing. So yeah, so lo-fi hip hop has been a big deal in terms of like keeping myself engaged with some of that stuff and my roots and whatnot. So yeah, Life by Ginseng has been a big deal. Also recently, I've been trying to. I mean, obviously, I listen to like pop punk and post
Hmm.
hardcore and whatnot. Um I just got into Hail the Sun. Didn't know about Hail the Sun before, and I really like Hail the Sun. But I've also been getting really into Rally House
Okay.
recently, just because it was just recommended to me on YouTube, and it had like a picture of like a rally car, like some Subaru doing a jump over like a dirt field, and I was like,
Hmm.
"What is this? What is this? This looks so silly." And I clicked on, and it's house. It's basically SSX Tricky Core, like the music that would be playing while you're playing SSX Tricky, like that specific kind of house with like I don't know, like the 2001 like video game sounds,
Oh.
which is a huge vibe. I mean, I like house music. I learned to DJ like last year, 2 years ago, which really opened up. I just understood a whole lot more about dance music in general, of like
Hmm.
why things are the way things are, because they don't make sense as a guitar player necessarily,
Yeah.
especially like in repetition. But as a DJ, it makes a lot of sense. Uh, So I was already like that stuff. And then the Rally House, especially as I was getting into the cars, my fiance and I just bought this Mustang. Uh, putting on like 2001 sounding video game house music and driving in the Mustang we just worked on with the top down is a fun vibe, and it keeps things fresh. When I'm writing music now, I try to. I'm not saying this is necessarily going to influence our next record or anything. This is just to like stretch and make sure I'm still working on stuff. But like I put on a house drum beat instead and speed it up to like a punk rock tempo and like, okay, now what guitar riff is that gonna bring out? Because it brings out it brings out like I'm still playing, pop punk post-hardcore stuff, but it changes a little bit about what is popping for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the lo-fi, always big. Rally House, that's the new jam. And also Hail the Sun.
I like it. You just knew off the top of your head.
Well, we literally just got out of the car. We just kept, my fiance and I had this long weekend in San Diego, and we did a lot of driving. We took the Mustang, and so we were listening to a lot of music. We also okay. This is maybe is this an audio thing or is the video part of this?
Both.
Please wait for 1 second.
Okay.
Wait for 1 second. I'm coming back. Coming back. Okay, I mean, I don't necessarily listen to this like all the time, but this is a perfect question to show this off. Uh, my fiance and I in San Diego, we went record shopping, and I always find it. I'd love to have a Guns N' Roses part of my record collection. Like, I don't necessarily want to buy like some new pressing of Guns N' Roses. I don't often see old pressings, and so I've just never had any Guns N' Roses vinyl, which is fine. I'm not really listening to vinyl that much, but I like to have the stuff that I want to have.
Yeah.
We were in San Diego, and I was just as I was about to say to my fiance, "There's no guns, dude. Why is there never any guns?" She pointed at this up on the wall, and it was this. This is
Ooh.
this is from 1987, right? Yep, 1987. Welcome to the Jungle single. Like
Nice.
from before the record came out. Welcome to the Jungle, and then a whole lot of Rosie live. It's So Easy live. Knocking on Heaven's Door live. This is like it was $100, which I've never done that before. Never like bought a crazy thing. But I was like, dude, I've been looking for a Guns N' Roses like a vinyl worth buying for so long.
Yeah.
This is
It was meant to be.
is meant to be. And then I'm on Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast, and you ask what's the soundtrack to my life. Like, well, no, I don't necessarily bump Guns all the time anymore, even though Slash is like a top 3 guitar player for me. But I'm gonna listen to this.
Yes.
Not the vinyl. I'm gonna keep the vinyl in pristine condition. This is mint condition. But I'm gonna listen to it on Spotify while I look at the vinyl. Yeah, man, that's my answer, Mackayla.
I like it.
Awesome.
Okay, so for any of our listeners that want to stay up to date on you, hear the new music when it eventually comes out, where can they find you?
On social media, I do the social media for our band. Not if you DM me, Zach does the DMs, but I do all the posting and a lot of the comment replies. So on Instagram at Good Terms Band, on TikTok at Good Terms, I think. On Facebook at Good Terms 69 because we made it a long time ago before, and now we can't, it's too expensive. Or on goodtermsband.com and on YouTube on Good Terms Band. Good Terms Band is what you should be looking for. Just Google that. It comes up.
Okay,
We're out there.
awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
No, thank you for having me, Mackayla. I
Oh,
appreciate it. This is fun.
fun. Have a nice rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Peace.
Listeners, go check them out and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Blue Sky, and TikTok at STO Lives Podcast. Thanks for listening.
And I'm afraid that